Good morning, farmers. It's Farmer River, and I have been at work for an hour already. It's a little hard to see the time. Let me zoom down. So it's 7:07 in the morning. So I woke up exactly at 6 and got out there and plowed some field. And for those of you who've been watching the series closely and pay much attention, I have we had a bale trailer that we didn't use, and then we ended up picking that trailer that's over there, if you can see it, and for because the one we had gotten didn't do the pallets. So what I did is I traded that for this roller, and what this roller will do is let us uncreate fields, if that's the way to word it. So I'd like to clean up a couple little things around the map, and what I did was I more or less looked at the money that I had after the evening. I'm not sure how much we had last night, but I basically set it back to where I believe it was. I could have done a little better job, but it's close enough. We only have 13 grand. If I'm off a couple $100, please forgive me. So what I would like to do is head on over to a couple different places, and I'll show you what this thing does if you don't know. And I think one of those was over here that just I didn't like. Let's get into this area. And these things are, how anal retentive can you be in life? Oh, here's a little bit of news. Our fields didn't grow properly. Now, I'm hoping there's not an issue with that growth control mod, right? I don't see any sign of wheat. And let's see, where are we at as far as this goes? Let's go back into the map. I'm a lot concerned about this. So the growth stage here, yeah, it looks like probably still the very lightest. Let me hit escape. I thought it was going to hit another stage soon. And shift Z. Okay, 0.3 hours. So we'll know within 0.3 hours. I really hope I don't have some kind of map ending flaw there. But I want to hop back into here, and I'm going to turn on Control S and show these lines, and I want the east-west. Let's just see what happens. Oh, sorry. Failed to save it. Well, wait a minute. Why? I don't know. Let's get out of here. So where is the... There we go. So we probably were right the first time. Control S. 90. There we go. Now, let's move this over a little bit. And what I want to do is just, it's not too bad, but I'll move it over, hit Alt, page up. All right, does that seem a little bit more reasonable, like maybe right there? Now, it's not going to be, like, perfect, and one thing I definitely want to do is get it very well lined up with this green line. All right, see how this is over that way? You know what I need to do? Quite. I didn't do auto width. Why did it? Is there no, zero offset? I remember this line confused me when that line moved. Okay, now let's try this again. Yeah, that's still. Well, let's see what happens if I move. No, that's pretty good. So why is that? No, it didn't. Oh! You know what? It's picking up that plow. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Now, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, we could always just move... Let's just move it over. So I'm going to hit Control... I'm sorry, Alt. We'll just move over a little bit more and then see where that takes us. So, I want to leave the plow on there. I don't know which one I would rather have. Yeah, we'll just see what this does, right? So we can put this thing down. Now, is it going to... Yeah, there we go. It's just changing. See how it does some of that? I don't know if you can really even see, but and the biggest thing that annoyed me up here was not this so much this stretch, but right there. So now this shed, I like this shed. Let's lift this back up, but I really kind of wish they didn't put those barrels in there and that pallet. That could mess us up. There we go. I think that's, you know, it's not much, but it's not the reason I bought this thing, but I thought I'd clean that up with you guys. So let's head over here, and I'll show you kind of how I use the combination. So really, all of this probably could be pushed back a little bit, but I think I want to leave a bit of a path down to this area over here, right? So I think the first thing we'll do, right, is come in here and do this. Yeah, I guess we should move it over just a little bit more. Right, just sort of eyeing it up. Come off of here. And we can always come back and plow a little bit if we don't like how it looks, right? There we go. I think that's extremely reasonable. And yeah, I don't think I'm really lined up on it now. So yeah, so you definitely want to make sure. I think that'll be... Yeah, probably want to move it. Keep wanting to hit control. Yeah, let's move up that way a little bit more. See what this looks like, because you can tell it's, you know, sort of a graphics thing. Let's make sure. Yeah, I think we're pretty straight. Now you do want to watch out for this thing bouncing around at times, because it can definitely like bounce and hit a field someplace when you're trying to use it. All right, so now, pardon me, the reason for doing that, and by the way, that was the chair squeaking. I don't know if you guys heard that noise, but in any event, the reason for doing that is if we use course play, it will be a little bit off in a sense. Now, what I would like to do here, well, let's do this. And I'm going to come over. Well, yeah, so we kind of have a dip right in that one area, but I think I could. Well, you know what? We're going to do it this way. So let's get ready to turn this 90 degrees. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. I want to try to square this field up a little bit over here. All right, put this down there. Oh shoot. That's all right. We're going to undo that in a second. Let's hit G and then Y to create a new field, and then V. And I'm going to be a little bit cheaty about it and just back up until it. There we go. See how it took that corner and made it real square, even though there's probably reasons you don't really want to make it that square. But I think once we get past that little bit of a dip right there, we've got, you know, pretty straight shot over to where you can see I brought that straight. You know, like, why not just square this up a bit? And we can try to turn this way and keep a close eye, and I don't think we're going to go off into a ditch. More. Yep. All right, so let's lift this guy up. Get over into the next track. Nice, that'll give us a little bit extra. Now I went through and plowed everything. I didn't do too much of this stuff. This is actually over here a pretty decent size little field. It's a big kind of Z or maybe S shape, but really I don't think it'll be too bad. One of the reasons I'm doing this, like I said, is I've played with course play a lot, and I really don't intend to plow too much more. My life doesn't really allow for all this plowing. I'm gonna do this. I guess it doesn't matter. cheat a little bit, backed up. I don't know if a subsoiler like, I know backing up a regular plow would be a bit of a recipe for disaster for most plow designs. But this, yeah, this probably wouldn't do too well either. It might, something like this design might do a little better. I don't think you'd ever want to back it up. And then this type turning, I think, would be pretty limited. Your ability to turn and not destroy things. There we go. Right now, I don't think it really matters too much. Like, every piece of equipment's a different width. But you can see I came up here and sort of cut it off when it was reasonably squareable. Right? So if we come into this neighborhood, go 90 degrees again. Yeah, I probably want to move that down this way. I'm kind of on the maybe a little bit further. Let's see where it takes us when we. So I'm just going to eye up the front of that tool. Now we might have to. I don't know if I can. You know, let's turn off create fields just so we don't accidentally. Yeah, well, you know what? It may not be realistic, but okay, wait. G, lift the plow. G, lower this tool. Right, and then that was pretty good. Raise the tool back up. Get around the tree. I think we would definitely have hit. Let's make sure we're pretty darn straight on this line. I want to get rid of this little, I don't know if I might have to flip around here. Be bouncing too much. All right, so let's lower this guy. There we go. Raise him back up and we'll spin around and get close to that tree. Looks like we got it all. Now sometimes you have to watch out for, let's make sure we're just right on it. Sometimes you have to watch out because spinning around seems to sometimes do it differently, right? There we go. So now let's head. I want to do a little experiment down this way. All right, I think this is, without cutting trees down, which I don't want to get into too much right now. And I don't know how much of that land we own anyway. I think we own some of it. Like I said, when I got down here, if you guys haven't played this game much, you'll know I'm going to do... Okay. So used to just having a plow on there. So let's do this, and then Y to allow create fields, right? Yeah, see, we don't have access to this. Yeah, it's really not... Do I have... Let's put an F1. Okay, I had that off. Oops. Alright, so let's lift it up. Just want to sort of see where that starts. And ends. And I don't want to be too close to it, in all honesty. What I'll do is I'll spin around this way. So that tree's not blocking my view. I guess I could do it from the front or something, but lower this guy down and try not to mess up. You can kind of see, even though we're not really plowing, like where we're going. Yeah, and then so I'm going to miss those spots. So let's lift this back up. And we're going to go G. Limit the field so we don't actually make a mistake. G, V. Right, I just want to be. So just trying to turn it back into. Right, like maybe this area. Let's do Control S. Turn this 90. Hit Y just to hold a nice straight line, hopefully. Right, and that's probably pretty much good enough. Now our lines aren't quite right, so we'll just do this manually. And I have it set to the plow, not this tool for the width. And sometimes you can it's a little annoying what I did there, isn't it? Let's see what I'm trying to do here. Just get that to be a little far away. I don't want it to, because then I don't know. It's not that big a deal, but you end up planting it, and then it's just a bit annoying. Let's see if I can't fake it out and get all this changed to, you know, like I think there's like, if there's one dot that's let you do it before you figured out that you don't. Yeah, see how we're kind of getting it if we, you know, that's good enough. Maybe one day we'll own it, but that's going to be far enough away that, you know, we've created effectively field. So let's go up and do one more thing. And then I may set the width. I have to probably do this off camera, but what I'll do is I'll fill in. I don't think we're going to make a little tiny field out of this. I don't think it's, looking back on it, I don't think it's really worth it. But what I would consider doing is, we were on the east-west for down there, and if you remember, I created field 19, right, which has got this angle to it, and I'd like to really consider taking as much of this. I don't mind if there's a little dippy-do here, or a little, right, but see, I'm thinking it would kind of be nice to take off at least some of this. I think that's a bit too much. Right, maybe 2 up. Yeah, that's going to get into a little bit more than I was thinking. And yeah, let's do 1 up. So what we'll do is switch tools, allow create field, and then we'll come right here and then we'll get the flatten tool out a little bit. Struggle. We're gonna have to redo this after we do the flatten tool, but that'll give us a. We don't have much money. We may need to borrow a few more bucks. Let's just get this guy out of the way entirely, right? All right. So if we just did a little bit of flatten, like right there, hopefully we'll have the money. If not, we'll borrow it just because. Hey, why not? P. Sculpting. Landscaping. Let's all right, do we want to do, can we do, oops, do flatten? Will be both keys. Let's make this big. Yeah, that's exactly kind of what I wanted. How much is that costing us? A fair amount. All right, now let's do smooth, just to make sure we don't have any real big roughnesses. Yeah, I think I can even smooth that a little bit too. All right, now the problem is I just created a big thing that I have to plow. Let's do this. All right, how's it look? A little humpy right here, but yeah, it's probably yeah, that's a bit too much. Let's start landscaping again and come back here and all right, let's back up a little bit and do smooth again. All right, that's a lot better. All right, so let's come in back in here. Oh, jeez. Mexican jumping bean tractor. Yeah. Well, let's see what happens when we just get on the line a little better. And that's pretty good right there, but I think, yeah, this is going to be a bit, I don't know, we're hugging the edge. It's going to be, with our current planner, which is very inflexible, it might kind of become an issue there. If you're going to try to do this just with the plow, you certainly want to be gradual with it. All right, so I'll clean that up later, and then what I'll do, like off camera, not I'm going to do it immediately, but just, yeah, that's, you know what, it's a little bit too much. I might uncreate the field. You know what, yeah. I might uncreate a little bit of that, because again, this doesn't need to be perfect. Just, you know, buy ourselves a little bit more. You know, let's do it together now. So I'm going to just see how we can, this might be a little bit awkward. We'll probably, right, if we're right here, is that gonna, right, let's move it over. Right, how about that much? Right, it comes maybe right about there. Switch tools, lower. Yeah, that's, if it stays there, when I get on this hill, it might not stay there. But I think that's going to get us off the hill just enough to. Ooh, right there. Yeah, see how it, when we got on the hill too much, it didn't quite stay straight, but yeah, it looks pretty reasonable over there. So I'll plow the rest of that. I'll just pause the video. We'll get that done. And let's head down to here. Right, and I think I want to come from like, let's change the angle a little bit. So I'm pointing right at that other end over here, right? And I'll come off, lower. Trying to get that little bit cleaned up. Yeah, that looks nice. And some of it's just like a graphics thing. I can't see with that stupid tree. Alright, so this will kind of become a separate field here. If you can call it a field. I'll just plant a little bit of alfalfa down there. Let me take care of that little bit right there. How do you like that smoothness? Yeah, and we'll just be able to run the tractor up through here a little bit. Now, as far as that goes, I did widen this out. You can see a bit. I don't think I messed it up that much. I don't know why I missed this spot. But I kind of took that to the max. And then in the future, when we have a few more bucks, I may try to flatten that out, because I was looking at it a little bit more. It's quite a ditch right there. I'd hate to have to... It would be kind of nice if we could get from that field over to this field. But there we go. So we're in pretty good shape as far as being able to do something with this field. So let me just take a few minutes, and I will... Just because it's kind of time consuming, and I think you guys get the idea. I will come up here over to this spot, plow out, the little bit here that we need to plow out, and then fill in all that area that's off to the right there, and then we'll have a nice, kind of three separate fields, I don't know if you count that. Another little alfalfa area that we may not even worry about that much. All right, see you guys. All right, turn this area into, not field, and then it still says clover on the map, which is still in the field in between the grass. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this will wither and die. I don't really know what happens. And I'll show you what I mean if we look at the map here real quick. Right, if we look, everything else is blank in a sense, like, nothing, no fruit type except for this little splotch. Let's just see what happens to it. It may go away over like a long period of time. And then that same kind of thing up here, I probably should have plowed that, but again, I'm not too worried about it. As far as our growth, we need lime, so I want to go get some lime going. And I think I would like to start biting the bullet of going into debt. And let's go up here back to the farm. I think it's there you go. There's the driveway. This driveway to this field's just next to that one. No, so we need to, see, I'm thinking what we do is we're going to commit to, that should have grown. I'm really concerned that I'm not seeing wheat on that field. But let's go, maybe not as much time passed as I thought. Right, now do we want this stuff? Well, we're just going to drop it here for now. I promise, clean up my mess. Let's do G, Q. We're done with this guy as well for a little while. Yeah, this equipment probably should go over. Let's see, we don't really have much in the way of sheds over there quite yet. So maybe I don't want to leave this stuff sit out forever. So we have our lime spreader there. Let's hop out and talk about purchasing some things. Placeables. And what I would like to do is miscellaneous, I think. And if we come over here, see, I wonder if these sell points will work. I may go over to the test map and see, because we may end up needing to buy those. But we're going to go into a little bit of debt to get a couple of these tanks, in particular, the one I'm very much, herbicide, liquid, seed would be nice. But this lime station would be a very nice one for us to get, but it's 15,000. Right, fertilizer. So there's these bigger ones. Now, are these cheaper? We're going to definitely need some herbicide, so that would be 23,500, right? And a liquid fertilizer tank would sure be nice. And that would be 32,000 if we added this in. And a solid fertilizer tank would sure be nice, which would be 40,500. And a seed tank would sure be nice. That would be, 48,000 or so. Yeah, and then we're going to have to buy some seed. Now, the TMR station we don't need, and this seed station's more expensive, so why not get that one? And I think the reason I got this mod was because it had the lime station and the other one doesn't. And in the future, we could talk about, I don't know, I'd like to make my own food for animals, but we'll see. Fertilizer station, yeah, we could get the other. Now that's ambiguous, isn't it? It's not really saying liquid or solid. But let's go ahead and get the one. Well, let's go ahead. We got to go back. And then let's go to here and money. And we said 48,000, right? So let's borrow 50,000, which would mean we're going to take that up to 60,000 because we want a little bit of money to pay for this stuff, right? Like, you know, pay for the fertilizers we're going to buy. All right, so now we're 60,000 in debt, and we still haven't even planted anything, so we may be borrowing a bit more. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, so let's come into here, and what I'm thinking, well, in the long run, why did it bring me down to here? Spin around, right? It's kind of odd that it brought me down there. But what I'm thinking is maybe this would be a better spot than back in there, right? Yeah, I don't want to go too close to the edge of the field. I'd like to be able to spin around. Well, we have, I mean, this would be a good spot for many things, but now this field we're probably going to harvest back and forth the other way, right? I'm just trying to think about where I would put a building. Like, I don't want this to block where a building might go. Yeah, we could definitely probably put a building this way as well. Why don't we line them up with this? Now we'll, oops. Wrong way. Stick the spout out where it makes sense. Now, if these, you know, that's going to kind of, I don't think that's an actual silo. Yeah, let's stay away from this field. We'll turn it a little bit more. I think I'm pretty square with the map. All right, if we... Oh, I don't like that. Why did it put it up so high? Well, you know what, let's do F1. All right, let's go escape. And hopefully these all don't get placed up in the air. So we said we want a seed tank. Now, one of the things, we don't want these things to be too overly close or else you get trigger issues. All right, so there's a seed tank. And if anything, I think I'll put the herbicide tank next to the seed tank because those won't, the triggers won't be an issue, right? Because anything that's going to hold fertilizer or anything that's going to hold seed is not going to hold herbicide. Now, same thing, anything that holds solid fertilizer is not going to hold herbicide. All right, keep them a little bit far, and then, oops, keep hitting the wrong button. And then liquid fertilizer, we could put right here. And we're down to 12,000, which was the plan. Okay, so now let's get back into here. We did detach that, right? Yeah. So let's go see. Our tractor's in fine repair, but let's see if this guy is in. Spreader 10%. All right, so what we want to do, I think, first, even though we have our fancy schmancy tanks, is use up whatever lime we did buy first, right? Because it just seems like that makes a lot of sense to me. And then we can get them out of the field here. And see, this is a bit of a pain. You would think that would be close enough to pick that guy up, but it's not. There we go. So now we don't have to drive back and forth, and I know you guys didn't see that in the videos, but now I don't have to drive back and forth all the way to town to get another wagon load of stuff, and I'll just use up whatever's over there first, and we'll get this spread with lime. I probably should almost even do the herbicide first. I think it just matters when you cross the finish line on all these crops. Alright, so maybe we'll head down to this field first. Yeah, I definitely should have plowed that. Let's see what happens, like I said, over time. And this field's going to be kind of tough. I'll head down here first. Extend it. Back up a little bit so I can see. And I'm just going to try to drive straight if I can. And then I want to check something out here. Control S. We want to be on east-west. Right, and then if I do auto width, 50.9 feet, let's go back to my handy-dandy length calculator. And then I'm just curious to see if we're at an angle, does it care? I don't think it does, but do we have to be on an angle that matches the course itself? And that's not what I wanted. I want a P, garage. All right, the spreader here, 12 meters. $39 feet, which doesn't, oh, that's right, we got upgrades. Is this not telling us, what is 18 feet? Or, I'm sorry, 18 meters. 18 meters is 59.55. So if we come here, Control S, turn on these lines, I'll just pull forward a little bit. See, this isn't, it doesn't care that we're at an angle. We'll come back here real quick. Say 59.05, that's exactly right, according to the thing. Now we're going to hit Alt, move this all the way over. When they first came out with this mod, I think I may have said this before, but you had to hit the button like this, and it moved over like that much, you know. There we go. So I think you guys could get a good idea about what's coming. I'll spin around here and start right on the end of the field here and just get this all sprayed, both fields. I don't think that's too dramatic. I think you guys can, like I said, easily picture what's about to happen. There we go. I'll turn this guy on. Oh, no. Hit this guy. This guy, you know what, I have this on lower. I don't have it set up to actually turn the machine on and off, so I have to hit the keyboard B. Alright, there we go. So I will see you guys in a few minutes. We are limed. So if we run over to the field here, get up on the crest a little bit, all of the fields are limed. Let's take a look at our map. Oop, that's not how you get to the map. There we go. And that's on the growth. This way? No, the other way, of course. Needs lime. All right, so none of our fields that are planted, well, yeah, see it's off. So all of our fields should be good. Now weeds, yeah, see these fields up here still need lime. So what I'm going to do is while we have this thing out, I think I'll hit these with some lime and then come right back and hit them with some herbicide. So I'll join you again. I know this has been like a really, really brief little segment, but I wanted to show you, show you each step. It doesn't take too long, and we'll so we'll get these limed up, then we'll get them herbicided up, but I'll come back, like I said, for the herbicide. And so let's go back to our east-west course. We'll get started together. How's that sound? So let's east-west should be good to go unless I turned at 90. And I did turn at 90. Now, if your tractor's turned compared to your implement, it won't do the auto width right. So that's why we have it, I think, pretty darn straight. We're going to do auto width. Yep, that's the right number. And I guess we can go do, since I already have it facing the right direction, I'll head over to the other side of this field. Now, the nice thing about setting this up, let's see, I left a little bit enough so we don't end up in the ditch here. We probably could make more of that field. And one other thing to note while we're over here, so see what I like to do, this is the longest, straightest where I want to start, but I also want to, Alt, not Control. Yeah, see, you know what, we could do a little field, like I didn't plant that little jut out part. I don't know if you could see that just kind of up ahead of us. There we go. So even though this one won't be perfectly straight, well, yeah, I mean, no matter what you do, it's going to kind of be a waste. I question whether it's even wise to do this. You know, like in other words, should I just not even spray that little bit and then anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. All right, there we go. Back my camera view up a little bit. Might even get, see, like that little spot right there to the right. Right, and now we're kind of wasting the whole rest of the way up here, but it is what it is. I consider some of, like, I like to be super efficient about this spraying, and then I say, well, it's all part of a game, and, you know, I mean, how serious? It's just all part of the cost of doing the field, right? I think in real life, some of these things are much more controllable as far as the rate and how fast those things are turning. So you could turn the rate down and then not fling as far type deal. So what I'd like to do is just go like right on around like one time. And that just gives me enough of a buffer that I'm not in the woods every time it's just as easy to stop. And this is where I don't like to do this with the crops. Now we probably are causing crop destruction too, aren't we? Well, maybe we're not at this earlier stage, but I didn't even think of that like a pro farmer would, right? Yeah, hopefully we're not damaging things too much here. We should get out and look in a second. All right, we'll go all the way around the field one time, and like I said, that'll be a bit of a buffer, a little bit of a header. Yeah, I'm not really seeing destruction. I don't think you actually kill the weeds. Over here, we'll try to get, yeah, hopefully we got that spot. Oh, look at this. So what happened there? Is that because, yeah, the game's a little strange sometimes with missing, like it didn't pick up the growth, or is it's still in the middle of, it might still be in the middle of the growing process, which is less than ideal. Yeah, let's hop out and see if we, oh, that's not quite how I meant to hop out. Did we see crop destruction? It wouldn't be here. It would probably be, it's not showing. Let's look on the map. And if we go back over to fruits, no, that's not showing line. So I'm wondering if in this early stage we can still ride on it, or is it, do I have another mod that's turned that off? I do have it on in the settings. So I'm not real sure why we're not destroying the crops. I'm not unhappy about not destroying the crops. And we probably could talk about getting this a little bit better. But let me cut it here. I'm just going to go back and forth, and then field 14 over there, that'll take like a heartbeat to get that going. So I will see you in a few minutes. And we have the sprayer ready to go. Well, not quite ready to go. I wanted to show you something. If we come into here, and let's put on the F1, and yeah, we want to change the spray type. Hold sprayer, turn on sprayer. Let's hit X. You know what, now that let's go, I don't want to drive on the field. Let's be a little realistic about it. All right, I'm not sure that we're not causing damage to the field, but it doesn't look like we are for some reason. Let me head up here, and I want to, we're dead full, so I don't know. Do we even need to spray this field? We might even want to just spray it with the fertilizer. Let's see. Now that we spent all the money on these things, we might as well. Yeah, so this is the herbicide here, right? So let's, yeah, so if I hit, yeah, okay. That's what we have to do. Probably shouldn't have done it right there. All right, so let's just do, can we refill here? Yeah, I think we can. So I'm going to refill. I'm going to fill it up with the herbicide. I forgot about the, you know what, before I even take this stuff out, I guess I should be more organized if I want to make YouTube videos, right? Yeah, soil composition, so we no longer need lime. Maybe little tiny bits we missed. And then most of these fields are good to go, so I really don't want to spray another layer. This we can't because, well, we're going to get another layer here, so this is going to mostly be, we could spray the alfalfa, but I'd rather not spend the money at this moment. So, I mean, once we seed this, it should go up to the second level, most, you know, and look a lot like this. Okay, so now we just want to unload this stuff. Let's put them... You know, there's nothing here now anyway, so let's just, is it U? No, I. Let's do G. This is the back tank, and then let's do, okay, so we put them, that's fine. So now, let's see if we can't get to, so this is where you want to make these things separate if you're going to put them this close, right? We want to, yeah. Seems to be kind of in front of it. What? You know what? Did I just hit refill? No. Oh, what happened there? Unfold sprayer, lower sprayer. Start filling. Good. There we go. Now we got some herbicide. Now let's do... Maybe it was getting the front one. Yep. I don't know that we need all that herbicide, but it's not like we can't use it. So let's, as we drive away here, this, I really wish I had. I may go fix that hump there between the episodes. Just you guys are warned, and I'll do it in such a way that doesn't cost us any money. So let's get this guy out. I like to undo the things before we actually set up this auto width. Now, let's go, and I don't know feet to meters, so let's go into our garage. And I don't see why that wouldn't work, right? We're here, so we should be 24 meters. 78.74. Yeah, perfect. All right, so now we want to move that over. Let's go a little closer this way. And of course, we have to move it a lot. It'd be slightly easier to move it this way than the other way. Now this one I'm going to set up here because I definitely don't want to get into those trees. And that looks reasonably close. You can zoom out a bit and line it up. And now in life, I worked on the farm, as I mentioned. And really, I was just a helper. And one of the bigger things, let me raise this up. I don't think it makes any difference, but you're a little less likely to hit the ground. That I did was weed eat. And there were times, if you look, I wish this is how it really worked in real life, right? Well, that doesn't seems like we're, could be a little wider. Well, I guess it's, I'm not doing too much extra, actually. Again, can you stretch it out? Yes. And I think the flatter your fields are, if you're in a perfectly flat map, you could definitely get away with, like, upping that width a little bit extra. But when you're on crooked maps, be careful because the angle of the machine does tend to affect those things. But yeah, so in any event, being someone who weed eated a lot, and then we would use Roundup at times, and you wanted that Roundup to just instantly kill these things. Let's get rid of that thing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and spray the rest of the weeds. Now, this weed protection, I don't know if it's worth spraying now. I kind of forget. It's been so long since I played, but I think it only lasts 3 growing stages. So, we might have wanted to spray this sooner. I'm not real sure. I kind of forget. Sorry about that. If you're expecting pro play from somebody who's played 2,000 hours, they should probably remember it, but we'll get it, right? I mean, nothing you're going to do is going to be the end of the world. It's not like your paycheck's going to be affected. I'm not making a mistake here. Can we get past that thing without hitting it? Maybe. That's it. B, Y. Yes, just cleared it. So that's a reason for raising it right there, right? And yeah, it looks like, see, and this is the kind of thing, well, we get that little bit of extra overspray. I'm not going to come back and spray that if we don't. Yeah, it looks like we're getting it. Good, so there we go. Another little job done. And those weeds, that you can kind of see them a little bit, I think. Those weeds will disappear completely after the next growth thing, I think. I don't want to lie to you guys. And yeah, I don't think you would start moving while that thing was still folding in real life, because you wouldn't want the jarring. All right, well, I'll get the weed sprayed in 13 here, and then I will join you and we'll talk about what crop we're going to plant. See you guys again in a few minutes. And our herbiciding is done. So we'll see what happens with that. So hopefully that lasts until the crop is fully developed and we won't have to spray it again. And I'm also curious to see if we come in here. I don't see any, I'll call them tram lines or any damage from driving over the crops, but yeah, so hopefully that's not really a thing. And then I came over and got our seeder hooked up. I'm a little concerned about this field and it doing a good job, but I wanted to conduct a little bit of an experiment. When I came into here, I had 17 point something feet, which is not 6 meters. 6 meters is something like 19.68. So I want to see if this ends up missing places. Like I made it wider manually, which was a bit of a pain. You can see it's sort of like the width of the tires now. Can you see? Where before it was like the width of the implement, which sort of makes some sense. So I'm kind of curious to see how this will go as we pull down into the field. Now, I think that what I can do, since if I change this, I guess we wanted to go back there. Yeah, that's right. Before we get backed up pretty straight without having to. There we go. Close enough, I think. All right, so let's go do this field, which I set this up on the east-west. And I have barley in here. I think we can change it. I don't think we need to be near a machine to change it. And this field is just, it's just tough as far as making this, there's just no straight corner on it in a sense as far as trying to do my longest, straightest thing. But we're all filled up with fertilizer and we're kind of ready to go here. And yeah, let's just take a quick look at the list of crops and just see. I was thinking of field 19 when I put the barley in there. I mean, I'd like to get a few of the, there's barley is kind of going up in price and down at other places. We could do the canola. I think we can harvest any one of these three. And we have the header, so we could do corn or, why don't we do some corn in this field? We wouldn't have to worry about a windrow in this goofy field, right? So I should be able to F1 it, and then can I select the seed? Yeah, Y. There we go. Yeah, it's a little cheaty, I guess, to be able to do this. Oh, this one won't. Never mind. That's right. Our cedar won't do that. Well, that's gonna. Well, why don't we do oat? Because I think oat also will give us the windrow, if I'm correct. Right. Assuming we don't bounce off of the field here. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to set this 90 degrees. I don't know that there's any, best way to do this, quite honestly. As far as angle goes, I guess you could go off at some funny angle, but this is going to work as well as anything else, I suppose. So let's see, moving this way. Yeah, this is the bouncing is the thing. I'd like to try to figure that out. Like I said, there could have been a mod that changed over time, but if you look, it's sort of like really fighting me. All right, there you go. And I think it's because like you're momentarily maybe moving backwards, right? Yeah, let me back up. Yeah, that didn't quite go quite as well as I was hoping. Let's get it straight, and then we should be able to. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do, let's turn this thing on. Pull up a little tiny bit, and we'll lower it. Is plant this thing in oats, and then I'm going to plant that, but I think I'm going to call it an episode here. I've kind of been at it for quite a while, and like I said, these episodes aren't necessarily, I've said it in other episodes, necessarily going to be full length in every case as far. I like to try to make things an hour, but I've spent quite a few hours. You can see, what was it? I did start recording today around, I don't know, 5 hours ago. So if I don't get an episode out, that's going to be another part of the reason. Is just it takes an awful long time to make these episodes, and yeah, it's just so I might even skip a day at times. I'll keep up with my workers. I don't want to let the workers and resources slack, and I do need to make another one. But I'm a few days ahead, so you guys will. I wouldn't have gotten your comments at this point, but I will definitely. I definitely welcome them all. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. I definitely appreciate all the support and the likes. The subs have been going up faster than they have in past months, so know that I appreciate it. I'd really like to get to 1,000 subs and then get a little bit of ad revenue, I guess, and that wouldn't hurt. It's not the reason I'm doing it, but hey, if you could get money for what you're already doing, and you're doing it because you enjoy it, hey, why not, right? Yeah, this is a little bit awkward here. Get in there. There we go. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.